What I did was a combat engineer when I was active, currently still in the National Guard, and I'm an infantryman at that one. But I've been running logistics for the past couple 5 years.
Pretty much after I got out of active, about 2013, and then I was deploying a lot, so then I just put it on stop. It was pretty much just getting out, and then went down to the VA office and putting some claims. Is pretty much the basic of it. I actually went through my paperwork and was realizing that a lot of the stuff that they had on there, they were saying was not service connected. So that's when I guess Google search kind of hit Facebook, and it just trajectory just kind of just popped up at that point. It was hassle free in a sense. I didn't have to worry too much about gathering the information because I was able to grant access to the information that I was already having previously, and then they had their own medical staff, so I didn't have to worry about like going to multiple doctors to get the paperwork or anything else. Everything was pretty much in house. Um, I know when there was some confusion with the paperwork that I was having um, that I guess the paperwork wasn't set up for in a sense, but like the main location that was my right shoulder. But there was other appointments that I was given based off of the paperwork that was submitted that was provided from Trajector that may have gotten the VA question like confused a little bit and set me up with appointments that wasn't really needed.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to actually get reevaluated for my shoulder, so I'm guessing the paperwork and the leading statements of what needed to be seen was correctly putted. So I that's how I got my shoulder reevaluated. So my wife did tell me that because I work out of town, so she was able to see and tell me I did get a VA letter, and then when she sent it to me, I went and verified it through the VA Gov. I was only looking for 10%, and I got 20. So, but
Yeah.
it does also put into perspective of that within a I guess a way it's let's see because I was 2013. It was awarded at 14, and I just redid it this like in May. So almost in a 10-year time frame that my actual arm is losing a little bit more strength. So it does put into a projection of that I might have to do another evaluation within the next 5 to 10 years. Um, so when I first did the VA when I got out, I was just like pretty much typical like any other soldier getting out of the army on a bad note, young, stupid, just want to get done with the paperwork. Don't so you're not looking at everything. But if I would have got out around the time or the age I am now, looking at it, I probably would have been a little bit more self-aware of what the paperwork says and would have got it corrected on the spot. Um, Trajector was able to mitigate and actually like see the fine print within everything, and they probably dealt with us on multiple occasions as well. So they probably already know what keywords to look up on. So it's good to have an extra set of eyes that that has your back in order to make sure that everything is all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted. Um, just in some and probably in mine and other people's it takes a while for the back pay to come in, even if you started up from scratch or if you even get the VA to submit your claim and get approved. um, so people doing it on themselves, if they have that knowledge, it would probably benefit them there. But if you can and if you're looking for something better, having someone else pay, but like not having those funds and then expected to pay as soon as you get the letter is probably somebody's uh, probably someone's not going to be able to do it that way. You would have good and bad at that one.
Sure.
Not so much on the bad part, but it would be still hitting the same nail over and over. You didn't have to like you gave them the access for them to do their job. I know the one thing that a lot of people do get frustrated is when people don't do their jobs, and that's an anyhow. But getting the results that you're looking for, or even remotely in the same within the same area, is still an achievement within itself. So, like some people that might do it, they may go and look for a 30 or 40% or something. They get something to the next bracket. But if you get an increase in general, that just shows that the people that are handling the case are actually looking at it thoroughly, and they're not just sitting there putting something together to get thrown in there, and the worst that you can say get told is no. So it shows that the process works. So there is a method to the madness that everyone can actually follow and have some type of confidence in it. The only bad thing is, I would say on that one, I know the Trajector has a method, because they do disclaim it in the very beginning when you're going through the process. Um, but like if some soldiers or some veterans, just in general, don't have that extra funds, um, I know it was told that you could set up like a payment plan, but some of the payment plans that I was offered are not within that same range, and it's someone expected immediately to pay. And like with me, my job that I have now, I'm able to like manage that into my bills. But
Sure,
like let's
sure.
say that we have a soldier that just came out of like active duty that I reference this to, or anything else, and they don't have the fund set up, or they're going in their emergency fund. Um, that may stop them from doing the process all in general, because they don't have a means to pay for the process. Even though that it may, because the only bad thing is if the VA takes roughly about 6 to a year to
Right.
restart, and then in order to pay out, sometimes it takes up to a year.
Yeah.
Um, and if the soldiers doesn't even have a job or transitioned over into civilian yet, that may pose an issue. But when it
Yeah.
comes to the process, the paperwork, and even getting the appointments set up for the VA, that I would recommend 9 out of 10. There was maybe the only end was from the VA, because the VA got confused a little bit. But
Yeah.
other than that, 9 out of 10 for how Trajector actually dealt with the process. Only asked me for the stuff that I needed, or and called me for updates. That was it.